Aloha, this is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, .cloud like up in the sky. We're going to do the initial physical installation for a Ugreen NASync DXP4800 Plus. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. First though, we need to get the hard drives for it. So this is the 1522 Plus that we've been doing all the previous videos on. We're going to take the same drives out of here, put it in the Ugreen, and see what kind of speeds we get. So this has got 5 drive bays, but only 4 drives in it. Go ahead and grab those out. I've already done the unboxing on the Ugreen, so this one's empty. And then it is nice that I don't think you even need a tool to get out the NVM. So I gotta say, after all said and done, all kind of tests, all kind of everything, I was disappointed with the speed in this thing. All the comments from the previous videos just say, yeah, you're at spindle speed for these drives. These are the red drives. They're all 22 terabytes. But the total amount of files we're trying to copy there, it's less than, I think it was like 200 gigabytes, and we had 2 terabytes of cache here, and the cache hit rate was 100%. So the speed of these drives should not have mattered at all. So let me go ahead and pull that out of there. And so I just don't know why, with the add-in, we have the add-in 10 gig card here, why we didn't get better speed from that. So let me go ahead and strip all these drives. You notice I have no static wristband. I mean, that's one advantage of living in a relatively high humidity location, is we don't have to worry about static electricity like they do in places like Arizona or Nevada. That I mean, if you get shocked on a doorknob or something, it's really it's very, very rare. Like lightning and things here is very rare. I mean, when we have thunder and lightning in Hawaii, all the kids kind of go crazy because they're not used to having that. Oops. This is kind of a nice system, but when I show you how the Ugreen does the drive mounting, I think you will like that better. I definitely like it better. Okay, so in these, we have these 3 4 terabyte. These are 990 Pros that were the cache, and then we're putting in 870 Evos. So I would assume these are slower. When it's a higher number, 990 versus 870, and these are Pro versus Evo. But we'll have them in a RAID 5 in the same Synology, and we'll just compare the speeds, what we have there, and see if we can do this the same or we get faster for that. All right, so now let's bring the device of the hour. And if you haven't ever seen one of those, I can give you a quick little tour here. So we've got just this light. Let me move these out of the way so you can see them. You got only 4 drive bays, where the Synology had 5, and you could add 2 5-port, eSATA additions to that, so you could have 15 drives. That's what that 1522 Plus means. That 15 drives max. 22, that's 2022, that's the year it was released. But here you can see we've got an SD card, a USB-C, a USB-A. We have some lights here. I'll go ahead and pull those out in a second. It's kind of a bummer. We got to unscrew these. This is, I'm sure, where the flash cache. Oops. You can't see me. I know, if you can't see me, what's the point, right? So we're back. All right. So I think we will have to put the flash cache in there, and we'll need a screwdriver for that, which we have. And then on the back, this is a 4800 Plus, and that means this is 10 gig here, and this is 2.5 gig. Then we've got an HDMI out, and again, I don't know if that's for a surveillance station kind of thing, or what that would be for else for that. A USB 3.2, that is and then 2 USB 2s. So a 2.5 gig and a 10 gig, and then we have the reset for there. So really kind of a nice nice unit. One thing I'll tell you, that the power brick is fairly large, physically. This is the one, and it's a generic power brick, where the Synology one, says Synology, and so you can see it. This is the one for the Ugreen. It is. Let me get this out of the way, a little better light. This one is quite a bit bigger. The Synology one's a little bit thicker. This is Synology, but if you put one on top of the other, the Ugreen one is quite a bit bigger. This one puts out the Synology 112 volts at 10 amps for 120 watts, and this one is output 19 volts at 7.9 amps for 150 watts. So about 20% more power for this this one here. I'm going to install these drives, and I'll show you one of the things that I really like about this when I did the initial unboxing. With the Synology, you've got to peel those things off the side. I've never seen a mechanism like this where, get this out of the way a little bit, you can see it in the light, where you just literally do this there's a little tab right here. You put your finger on, and it says press, and then it just comes apart. Then you get these out of the way. Just put the drive in there, line it up, and that's it. And you just it just comes together. So I've never seen an easier install than that. Back in the day, they used to have, I remember, I don't know what brand it was, they had just little nipples sticking up on the bottom to mate with these holes. But then when you would put the caddy like that, they would literally fall out, because they just sat right down on top of it. But the fact that this just comes apart and then goes back in like that, boy, that is really a neat toolless design like that. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that for all these. I don't remember what order I took these out. I mean, there's zero chance that the format would work and it would recognize the drives. I'm positive we're gonna have to reformat these, but it'd be I know very little about this NAS. I mean, what is there? ZFS? Is there? There's a bit more processor in here. I don't know if there's that whole argument. Do you need ECC RAM with ZFS? I doubt there's ECC RAM in this this unit. But let's go ahead and put those back in. I don't think it matters. Oh, it does matter because they are numbered. Like here's 4. That's got to go here in 4. And that's interesting that they would do that. I mean, you're not, I'm sure it's not hard coded, like it'll tell you, oh, you've got 3 and 2 and 2 and 3 kind of a thing. But if you lose one or break one, you're going to want to buy, the one that you did. Okay. So this is kind of a bummer that we need a screwdriver for this. I'm certain that's where the SS, the flash cache is going to go. So let's go ahead and open these up. One screw there. And then one last screw here. Now, do they manufacture it like that? Like just, where to go? Just when you undo the screws, you can kind of see it lifts up. It lifts up. I wonder if do they manufacture it like that? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So this is the SSDs. As SSDs. The well, it says SSD on it. The M.2 here, and also the RAM. I believe this has 8 gigs of RAM. So again, this part was much better in the Synology. So one, these will only take, and what is that? What are those pins for? What is that? What does that say? It says JMCU1. And then it's funny, there's a, here you can kind of see it's a printing of, it looks kind of like that. It says UART, like serial port kind of thing, but you know, the pin is not there. And then there are these two kind of random screws right here. You know, the RAM is just a regular, you know, mini DIMM, kind of what you see on a laptop. But then they've got two screws here. I don't know what those would be for. So I took one out. Let me go ahead and put this stick, this M.2 in there. But I got to look again on the Synology, but I do not believe it would accept a short, you know, physically short M.2 stick. You call them sticks? What are they called? Is it seated all the way in there? It's in the Puka. Try it one more time. Easy for you to do. There we go. Yeah, Puka is Hawaiian for a hole. Go ahead and seat that in there well. Okay. But we need to take this screw out. Yes, I don't know what those screws are or what those. So it looks like one thing there has the header on it already, and the one for the UART, like a serial port, there's no header there. And boy, if you have the M.2 in there, they're completely inaccessible. I'm not sure what the max RAM this could hand, maybe 64, maybe 2 sticks. You know, here's one connection, there's the other. 2 sticks of 32 perhaps would be for max. But yeah, we'll take a look at that, kind of compare the two. They're not exactly identical. Oh, look at this. There's a, you know, I was wondering why it pushed up. You look right there, the way that's nice, and like a little thing on a spring, and it pushes this up as soon as you unscrew it. It pushes it up. That's what pushes it up. A couple other things that I thought that were kind of different, you know, when I did the unboxing video for this, and I can tell you what those are. One, you know, it comes with 2 Cat 7 patch cords, and the patch cords themselves, I've never seen this. So it comes with these 2 patch cords, and they have a little case on there, you know, and you still have to push it down to get it out, but it's like a jacket. I don't want to call it a boot, you know, the boot's on this side, but I've never seen. And I mean, you hear it, I mean, it clicks. I mean, this is not for show. So both of the patch cords, you know, came with that, and it says on them Cat 7. So it came with 2 of these, and I don't know what you would use them for, unless maybe to mark your ball on the tee. It says Ugreen on them. You know, you get 2 of those, and then these are a mystery. I don't know if they were supposed to be included. They have a little plastic on both sides, and it's you know, you can bend it. It's almost like a soft eraser. If you're old enough to remember when you had a pencil and you had an external eraser for that, like it's clay or Play-Doh or something. I can't imagine where that would go. So I don't know. So they want you to put these on your, you know, if I open this up, it's just another, I think it's probably just another same thing of one of those. Yeah, just Ugreen. And then what these things are for. I can't imagine, because it's already got feet, you know, built in, so you don't use it for feet to sit on something. Yeah, interesting to have that there. All right, so, and one other thing on the back here, let me show you. This is, you know, magnetic. Let me switch cameras here. is magnetic here on the back, so you can see that real big fan, and then this, it says Ugreen on it, and magnetic goes in there, so it should be easy to clean. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, turn it on. We'll do an initial walkthrough, kind of see how it works. It's going to have to format the drives. I don't know if that's going to take 2 minutes or 2 hours for that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do that, and let's see how that goes. We have it plugged in, turned on. Hasn't made any noise yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be this here. I didn't look at what the IP address was. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, 4800 plus. Let's go ahead and HTTP. Boy, you probably saw that it came up to Chinese first, and then it figured out the language. Not initialized. Okay, this is pretty good for a beginning. ComTel. We're not gonna set up the part where it will you can log into their site and log into this here. Local administrator, where it's going to be a locally managed only. Go ahead and do that. We don't want to save that. So this remote access, we're going to skip that. We're not going to allow any external access to that. We don't want to access that through the internet, and we'll just do manual updates here. Share. I do not want to share anything with them. So install updates to apps. No, we're going to go ahead and manually do that. Let's go ahead and initialize. And that's one of the things with the Ugreen when you read about them. It is a Chinese company, and people are worried about what data they're sending. And I'm not a data security specialist as far as doing Wireshark traces and captures and figuring out what data it's sending anywhere. I mean, if they wanted to be mischievous about it, they wouldn't send it directly to China anyway. They would send it, to some server, AWS somewhere, and then from there it's going to go to some other place in Frankfurt, and then a couple other places that have that. Let's see the volume. And one thing I wanted to mention that I do like about it, that power supply did use more power, more watts. I don't know how much it's drawing. That power plug is not metered, but the plug for the Synology, see if you can see that there, is proprietary. It's got those 4 pins in there, so you cannot just grab anything and go ahead and use it. Where the one for the Ugreen is just a traditional, barrel plug. Again, kind of strange. I think it was at 7.9 watts or something like that, or amps, or maybe it was volt. I'm not sure. It was 150 watts, but yeah. So it is a funky voltage, but again, it doesn't have that proprietary connection there. The storage manner. So the system's rebooting. Load completed. Okay, let's go ahead and I hate to wait. Let's get that at ping 10.10.10. So we're going to give it a static IP. Let's go ahead and start Unify here locally and see what the switch sees on that port. It's plugged into the same port that the Synology was in there. I've got another switch around here somewhere. Oh yeah, this Grand Stream switch. Now I'm going to be ripping out the Unify switch and putting in this one. It's a Grand Stream. What is it? GWN7806P. It actually has 6 10 gig ports in it. I want to plug in more 10 gig things and just kind of get things going on the network. So we'll have a little unboxing of that and set that up. And with Grand Stream, they have their cloud stuff as well as things that you do locally here. So we'll try it local, we'll try it there, and have a bunch of Grand Stream PBX things that we're going to be looking at. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like an access point, a router, and a PBX. Went to a menage a trois, and all of a sudden they had a baby, all 3 of them. the one device that's got all of it in there. So we'll take a look at that and do it in the cloud, do it locally, have it there. All right, so we're not getting any pings back. And that's not even, so that by 3 to 5 minutes. So it must be doing something more than just rebooting. I doubt it changed IP addresses. Let's go ahead and do another port scan here. So in Charlie 2 Bravo Delta is the MAC address for that. I'm sure it will reconnect. I can't even see it from where I am here. It's behind the TV and turned around backwards. All right, so can I go through these? Oh, I can go through these. Yeah, so local account, remote access, we're not going to do that. Storage manager, yeah, we'll have to set up the storage pool. There are a variety, different varieties of these, from the little 2-bay to even bigger. I think there's a 6, 7, 8-bay one. But yeah, we'll see what they have with there. So folder, be doing some NFS stuff. I want to set it up as an iSCSI target. I have one of the things I want to plug in an older Dell server 720, 730 or something that has a 10 gig GBIC in it. So we'll just use a GBIC to GBIC cable and connect that in there, as well as both of the NAS. So we're going to kind of build a little 10 gig network here to try all these things out simultaneously. As when we test that switch, and we're really gonna run some traffic through that. But that has taken quite a bit of time. And if you ask me what the MAC address was, I do not remember. Here it is. So okay, that's weird. It got a new IP address of .149. So it probably came up quite a bit ago. That's strange that it would get on this little network here. It would get a new IP address. Let's just hop right in and see what we see here. It's probably gonna have us log in. Okay, that makes sense. Probably should have changed the name. Let me do stay logged in here. Little QR code. I'll scan to log in. We don't want that. Okay, we don't need to save the password. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Go to create. You can see all installed apps. Next, storage manager, we got that. File manager, control panel, app center. One thing I would like to run on this, I try to run, is a Radius server. Great, all right, kind of a cheesy graphic there. The main features of the NAS. So let's go ahead and change the name. Oh, I can't look at that. This is a nice little dashboard right here. I like this a lot better than the Synology one. Upload, download, RAM, CPU. So we're barely even touching the RAM there. Task center, but let's go. I guess we can create this first and then see what it sees. Okay, create storage pool. Okay, let's start there. Select RAID. Let's do RAID. The other one was RAID 6, so we're going to keep this. We're going to keep the RAID the same. What did it recommend? RAID 5. I wonder why it recommends that. Select the hard disk. So I need to take this off because it's only seeing one of the SSDs. And why would it even will it let me select it? Okay, it's not even a choice. Yeah, it shouldn't be a choice for that. Okay, so 4 hard drives. This is not the best interface for that. You really can't see what you've selected there. So total capacity, what kind of formats? Let's do Btrfs, just like we have in the Synology there. Okay, and we will create that. All data 4321. That's probably just the way I added that. It's like the password. Okay, that makes sense. Make sure that you are authorized to make this change. So data organizing, performance, prioritize RAID sync. Okay, we'll do that. Hard disks. Yeah, it only sees one of those M.2s. I don't know why. And does this even have like SSD cache? Test plan. Not sure what that is. The bad sector warning, we want that. Storage pool. So it's kind of doing the initial sync. That on the Synology, it takes a long, I mean, 24 hours, if more. Volume 1 settings. So 40 terabytes, you know, approximately. So if I create, oh boy, use two gigabytes. So there. So I would just create a new one. Storage, create storage pool, JBOD, and all that. Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to shut this down here and take the bottom off and see what the scoop is with that, to why it only shows. And it says if I go to hard disk here, M.2 hard disk 1. Okay, but let's figure out where we change the name. To create first folder, upload files. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that later. Oh, great. Yay, Clippy. The new Clippy. Oh, task manager. I mean, just initial impressions, I do like this better than the Synology interface. Synology seems kind of dated looking at this. Control panel. Let's see, what are we going to look at here? About that we would change the name, device name. How much RAM is in here? So it's got a Pentium, you know, I'm sure not high end, but 5 core, 6 threads. That's unusual. 8 gigabytes of RAM there. How do we change the name? How do we do that? Change. We'll just get rid of that just for fun. Wow, already done. All right, well, I am going to shut this down. Assume I do that here, shut down. And I'll bring it back over here, then we can see what is wrong with disk 2 of the M.2 SSD. Certainly both were working in the Synology, so we can assume that they are, it's not the M.2 sticks. So let's see if they look the same. This one here, you can actually see in the picture, does not look seated as well as this one. You can see some of the pins there. Now, just for thoroughness, I want to take this off and see if this is labeled slot 2. If there is that anywhere. M2 key, it says right there, real small. M2 dash KEYM3. Not sure, but let's go ahead and seat that in there better. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of this little screw here, so that when you put it in there, it will be seated properly. So let's go ahead and put that in. All right. Okay. So hopefully that was just it. It wasn't seeing, you can't see any of the things there. Let's go ahead and put this back. We will plug it back in, power it on. Not sure what our little router is doing over there, giving us different. It's not new. This is just what we have here in the lab. That's not lined up right. It's a edge switch, not the Unify, the other Ubiquity edge router. Yeah. Okay. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah, that Toolless, I'm really appreciating. As much as I like how easy it was to put in the hard drives, it's not difficult on the Synology. After fooling around with this, I would much rather have to deal with, the Synology thing where you got to pull that little strip off this, this little strip off the side. You got to pull this strip off and have Toolless for this. Okay, let me go put this back and we'll see if we can see both of the sticks. Okay, so we just started getting pings back here. I just heard a little beep out of the unit. Let's log back in and see if we're able to see our M.2 stick. Operation failed. That was probably the setup. So let's go to the storage manager. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it wasn't, but so that's kind of a bad design, that I could put that screw in there very easily and it wasn't seated properly. But at least we now have both of the M.2 sticks in there. And, you know, when you assume, you know, we all know what that spells. I just assumed that we could do this as cache for the hard drives there, but that does not look to be the change. And I don't think we had to do that. I do kind of like this temperature thing there. You can see the temperature and the hard drive status. Oh, so this is not a separate 2-bay unit. This is the M.2s there. I don't think it had anything to do. We had to do it when we were creating the RAID there. Let's take a look here. I'm fooling around with this the first time. I think I said I want this to also be a radius server for us to kind of set that up. Yeah. So that's search. This is search. What do we got here? This is how we return to the desktop. Create the first folder. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a folder. Not sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, something's, it's not hard, not detected. Request timed out. Is it not happy because of when we computer request timed out? We are going to go ahead and let's do a little bit of troubleshooting here. Let's look at the task manager. Does that even come up? So what do? I wonder if it's the same IP address. I mean, it's acting like it can't talk to the back end because it's a different IP address. Okay, and there it is right there. Is it rebooting? Did it get a new IP address? Because I don't think it's that device, because I had some other stuff on here before and it was kind of going wacky on that too. I wonder if it went back to 148. Let's just try 148 here. And we're going to static it straight away. No, it doesn't look like it's 148. It could have crashed. That's certainly possible. 147. Is that it? No, I think 150. What's going on here? How is it getting assigned these IP addresses? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, that again, I don't blame this device at all for that. I blame the router. So right now, straight away, first thing we are going to do, we are going to static this. Network connection, link aggregation. Interesting, because there's only one 10 gig. This 10 gig here is what we're connected, M.2. So we'll leave it like that way for now. But let's go ahead and configure this. We'll say .35. That's fine. And see if we're already there. Love it when it redirects. I love it when it redirects me to the new IP address. It's always a pain. Okay, so that shouldn't happen anymore. We're static here on 35. So let's go through the little wizard here. Let's create a folder. Welcome, a personal share folder. We want a shared folder, new shared folder. different types of folders. Personal folders. No, we don't need personal folders. Share. How do we get out of this? You can enable personal folders. Okay, we don't need that. We get out. Yeah, I don't want to go. Create a new share folder. I don't want to enable that. So let's not do that, wizard. That can't escape. Next. Have to do enable. Personal folder. Location is going to be volume 1. I don't want a personal. Save and exit. Should have not been save and exit. All right, well, that was kind of brutal. They really want you to do that shared folder. And I guess this is, I would like, there might be a way to put this on the bottom. I keep trying to drag it up and it kind of, it's like an invisible barrier right there. The shared folder, create a new shared folder. Folder name is going to be share Ugreen. We'll do that. Let's make that a dash, not an underscore. From volume 1, we don't need that. Hide in network, enable recycle bin. Okay, create that there. So ComTel will read write privileges. Okay, type subfolder fine. Okay, let's create that. So that should be there. If I go to my storage manager, against normal storage, yeah. So it's doing doing the RAID 6 stuff. Okay, 0.1. It on Synology, I think it took at least more than 1 day. Let's just see what we get here when we pop this up. Whack whack 10.10.10.35 should get a username password. Can't see it here on the network. I'm not sure. Do we have to enable SMB kind of stuff? Windows cannot access that. Okay. Did this ever come up? Okay, finally came up. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we have. The storage manager looks good. I'll have to see if we can do a cache there. But let's see. So file manager control panel. File service. SMB, it's not enabled. SMB. Okay, work group is work group. NFS, save. Let's enable NFS. What's an advanced protocol? Custom. Okay, save that. What else do we got? RSync. Not gonna be doing any RSync. We don't have anything to sync to. WebDAV. Bonjour for Macs and stuff. No, it's not needed. All right, we're not gonna need FTP. Let's go ahead and save that. And now let's try it again. 10.10.10.35. That's what we want to see. But why would you have a shared folder and not enable NFS or SMB? Okay, there we go. Share Ugreen. Boom. Got the recycle bin. Let's just find some files. Go back. Copy something in there. So this is a 1 gig connection. Not that we're doing any speed tests. This is just the beginning here. But that's wire speed pretty much. 109 times 8 is 860, something like that. No, 8. Whoops. Calculator. Yeah, 108 times 8. So 800, yeah, 8. Wow, I was closer than I thought. 8, so 864 megabits on a 1000 megabits. So that's totally what we would expect for wire speed there. And I can see here, so it's right there, downloading 113 double click that. Oh, okay. Yeah, this it's not as pretty, I don't think. Some things look better. Like I like the desktop and these icons over here, but this actually that's not bad. This is not bad at all. Um, yeah, Synology's got some catching up to do as far as this interface goes. Yeah, hard disk, pretty nice. All right, last thing we'll look at right here, are the App Center right here. What can we do? Let's agree. I'm not sure, like, is it all just, is it Docker? You install Docker and then everything on top of Docker, or so BitTorrent, sync and backup. Okay, that's for sure. I don't know if that's the active backup part that we're going to want to fool around with. Always install on volume 1 for right now. Uh, yeah, we don't use these for home kind, store photos or Plex servers kind of thing. I mean, they're great for that, but oh wow, so browse Firefox, browse within there. Okay, so it is Docker. So I wonder, let's go ahead and install Docker here. We're going to install things, on top of Docker, on top of the NAS. We Quing Long, I'm not sure what that is. A list, DLNA, CU Yan. I'm not sure what these are. Security, let's go, scroll down. Security Manager. Let's take a look at that. We'll install that. We'll install this one. We don't need this any virtual machine. Okay, what is virtual machine versus like Docker? File Manager. Let's install that. That's already there. Open. Okay, these are already installed. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Make it a little bit easier. Okay, those are all. So music, net, disk tools. Let's install that. Video center. That's probably like Plex. We're installing that. Wing Q. I guess it's a Q. QING long. QING long. What? Stock analysis. Oh, I'm just, have a U after every Q. It's also a sonic wall signature, legitimate traffic. Yeah, we definitely don't need that. Don't need to do any bit torting from here. But yeah, the backup, that's probably the number one thing we use with the Synology is the active backup. It'll do bare metal, it'll do VMs, it'll do uh, entire. You can integrate it with everything there. They don't do much outside of VMware and Hyper-V, which we're hoping they will get to that. But if we go to utility, it's just another subset here. Okay, sync and backup. What does this do? Backup and restore. Create backup task. Backup this. Oh, okay, so that's just a backup of this. I don't see an active backup kind of thing, but I'll look around some more for that. This virtual machine. What is version manager? Is that for this? Each file modify. Oh, version manager. So this is almost, it looks like snapshotting, where you can have history for the files on there. That kind of version manager. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and fool around with this. This is not nearly the list that you would, I think, see on Synology when you do that. But then again, does it make sense for them to do that? If it can run Docker well, why recreate it? I mean, if Docker runs well within Docker, you're virtually unlimited as far as any kind of app that you want to run there. So I've got a little bit of homework on this. I don't know if there's a way to get the flash cache working for that, or if we can get kind of backup, restore kind of stuff, and then just the basic speed testing. See how that works. So Yeah, hope you enjoyed this. We do this kind of stuff everywhere. Again, we got all this great GrandStream stuff just sitting right over there, waiting for us to unbox and get it plugged in. We're going to have the NAS working, this NAS, the Synology NAS, another NAS as well. It's a Synology NAS, but it'll be a little 2-bay unit and be running all kind of data through these switches and testing and different kind of features and we radius server for all kind of fun stuff. So definitely give a like and subscribe if this kind of stuff that you're interested, technology for small and medium-sized businesses. Have a great day. Aloha.